If you're looking to minimize make.com operations by using custom code or custom functions without paying thousands a year for a make.com enterprise subscription, then I have an awesome solution that's going to do just that, and it's really easy to implement. As I'm sure many of you have experienced, I was recently working on an automation that absolutely required the use of the iterator tool, which is definitely necessary in a lot of instances, but in this one instance, it just wasn't maintainable, wasn't doable. And what I had a Airtable setup with two tables, and then they were linked with a many-to-many relationship. And I was trying to pull that data into Google Sheets in a sort of expanded junction table so I could see all those individual relationships and build a Looker Studio report off of it. And so essentially that left me with two options. One option was to iterate over each record in the table and all the relationships to that record. So iterate over every single relationship there is, which wasn't really an efficient method. As you can see, I mean, this is only for 5 records and I'm using, 30, 40 operations there. And so the only other option that I had at the time was to get a make.com enterprise subscription, which I reached out and it was over 10,000 a year, and that just was not an option. But what I came up with is I found a way to use a Google App Script as a ad hoc custom function, and I just did another scenario very similar to what I had before, and it was just a real simple API call to a Google App Script. And the Google Apps Script did all the data manipulation and transformation for me without using any additional operations. And it made it super efficient. And I was able to get all my data into Google Sheets really easily without using a tremendous amount of operations. And so again, here you can see this was using well over 30 operations just for 5 records versus this can do pretty much any number of records with what is that? That's 7 or 8 operations. And so it's just a much better, much more efficient solution than the alternative. So if you do want to implement this setup on your own automation, all you have to do is you can go to my repository, Univium Automation Tools, and if you find the custom function folder in the make.com folder and click on that, you can just copy the code and you go to script.google.com. You can create a new file and just paste the code into the app script and hit save. Then you can go in and you can edit the data transformation logic just to fit your needs for whatever you need. AI and ChatGPT and Claude can help out a lot with that if you need. And then once you have all that set up, you do have the option if you want to set up an API key to make that call more secure between Make and Google Apps Script. You can definitely do that, and I do recommend setting that up. Then you just have to go to New Deployment, deploy it as a web app, and then you can copy this URL right here, go back to your automation, just paste that in there, set up the rest of your code, and then you should be good to go. I definitely think this is a really neat setup, and I'm starting to use this type of setup more and more just to keep the make automations low, but also still stay in make for my automation so I can take advantage of all the nice features that are in there. And so if you have any questions or run into any issues, just leave a comment or let me know, and I'm happy to reach out and help where I can. Thank you.